This is INCRadio DZEM 954, the voice of truth, the official radio station of the Church of Christ or Iglesia ni Cristo.
Hello.
Hola.
Bonjour.
Konnichiwa.
Ni hao.
Ciao.
Annyeonghaseyo.
Mabuhay.
Welcome to Washington State.
Explore the sights. Discover new things.
Appreciate the arts, music, and food.
Travel to new places.
Meet the people.
Make new friends.
In other words,
come
home with us.
Come home with us.
This is INCRadio Seattle, Washington.
Viewers around the world, how is everyone? I hope everyone's enjoying this very sunny day. But to everyone, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to wherever you are, wherever you're tuning, anywhere all around the world. Hello, my name is Sister Kate, and I will be the host for today. And today we're talking about winter comfort foods. Which, you know, everyone loves a food topic. Everyone loves to get into a food topic. And of course, who doesn't love food any more than having your favorite comfort food? So joining us today, our lovely guest is Brother Vaughn and Sister Hazel. So, Brother Vaughn, if you would like to go ahead and introduce yourself and give any shout outs that you may have.
Hi, I'm Brother Vaughn Torres from the local of Oak Harbor here in Washington State District. Shout out to my family, of course, and local of Oak Harbor. Hope you're enjoying the sun here in the Pacific Northwest.
Thank you, brother. And we have a very familiar face joining us as well, Sister Hazel, if you'd also like to give your introduction.
Yes. Hi, this is Sister Hazel Valdez again. From the local of Everett, but I'm currently in Oak Harbor. So shout out to the local of Everett and to the local of Oak Harbor.
Nice. Okay, so before we get into our discussion, we do want to extend a question out to our YouTube viewers. And that question is, what is your go-to comfort food? Again, what is your go-to comfort food? And feel free to list off as many as you love. So now let's get into the discussion. Sorry, my cat is over here, but let's get right into it. What about Brother Vaughn? What is your go-to comfort food? Maybe especially when it's a little colder out.
Yes, you know, of course, as here in the Pacific Northwest in the winters, it gets a little cool. Really, the go-to comfort food, which is would be my typical answer, you know, would be like sopas, right? Because it's really cold and cool. But my atypical answer is really anything that has the flavor of pistachio. So regardless if it's a crepe or an ice cream, my wife and I, Sister Klang, last year went to Las Vegas for our 28th anniversary, and we actually had a dish. It was dessert. It was pistachio souffle, and it actually tasted really, really good. Because it was pistachio, I had to try it. And that's actually the one thing that I would love to find here in the Pacific Northwest, to try a souffle flavored pistachio dessert.
Oh, that is a bit of a twist on a comfort food, I will say. I guess so then that means your comfort food is more like sweets, you could say. Yeah. I know recently we've been having kind of like food after our worship services. And there was a pistachio bread, which was really, really yummy and really good. Because I don't typically eat pistachio, so it's actually
Where is
super
this
good.
local at? Where were you at, sister?
Oh, I'm from the local of Everett, yes. Also So just Sister
I have to
Hazel.
swing by there one time.
It's really good, but yes,
Do you know
we
who
do.
baked it, sister?
I
We're gonna find out.
yeah, you have to come to find out, actually. I do
Yeah.
know who, but you have to
I'm
come to
coming
find out.
back.
Yeah. I usually don't have a sweet, I'm not a really dessert person. Sister Clang knows, my wife knows that I don't really like sweets. So desserts that are kind of in the not so sweet realm, like the souffle, is what really, I'm like, oh, that's really good. One of the desserts styles is Japanese desserts because the Japanese desserts aren't typically really sweet, but it has just enough to satisfy.
Yeah, that's a good point. I do also like less sweet desserts, you could say. But what about you, Sister Hazel? What is your go-to comfort food?
Well, mine is very typical, like Brother Vaughn said, sopas or lugao, um, rice porridge, or sometimes I'll put chicken, or I like it with tripe. That I will eat. What else? I guess anything that I crave for. It depends on my mood. I also like kare kare. You can cook that any time of the year, but if I'm craving for kare kare, I'll just ask my sister to make it for me. But I typically make sopas and lugao or any soup. Lately I was doing before my surgery, I was making zuppa toscana, which is fairly easy to make, because it's hot, and when you eat it, it's nice. What about you, sister?
I will see. I was about to say I'm pretty similar. I do love like soups and more broth kind of heavy dishes, but it also does really depend on what I crave too. I don't have like a specific go-to that
Yeah.
I make. I tend to get a lot of cravings that I just like can't stop thinking about, and then I have to go and eat them. So I'm basically the same way.
Or
Um,
sinigang. If I want a little bit of a sourness, I know Brother Von doesn't like sour, but I like really sour sinigang.
Oh,
Uh,
because the topic is it is winter, right? For winter
yes.
season. I mean, most of our comfort food, it's really, not seasonal. It's just whenever we feel like it. But that's why I think the soups and all that, the sopas, like I mentioned, sopas, we just had it just last night in our Bible mission when we were potlucking and stuff. And
Yeah.
that's with the cold, and it's been very cold, very
Mhm.
brisk and clear skies at night in the 30s, and sopa's just for winter. It is a comfort, definitely a go-to comfort food for us.
Yeah, because it's hot. Speaking about pistachio for Brother Vaughn, have you had the Dubai, the craze right now, the Dubai chocolate that's made out of pistachio in the middle, right?
I have
And
heard of
that's,
that, but
yeah,
I haven't had it.
I just had some recently, but it's made by my niece, Sister Kyla from Everett. It was actually pretty good.
She
Yeah,
has to she
she
has to bring
made
that
her
next
own
time.
pistachio mix in the middle. It's actually really good.
That does sound
So
really good. And
yeah,
I do love
I wish
chocolate.
I
I guess
hope.
oh,
Oh, there she
we
is.
have a special
I thought she's
guest
gonna
joining
join
us
down here.
last minute.
Yeah,
Um,
there's our cook,
Sister
Sister
Sorry.
Kristen,
Kristen.
Hi.
I know you just came in kind of a little later,
Late.
but would you also like to give your introductions and maybe, let us know what your favorite comfort food is too?
Oh, I'm Sister Chrislyn Torres. I'm the better half of this guy. And my favorite, I have a lot of favorites. But mommy is good. That's his favorite too. Did he mention it? No, you didn't mention it. He always makes me cook mommy. So
He mentioned a twist of a comfort food, which was pistachio souffle dessert.
oh yeah, he loves that one. We
So,
had that one in when we ate dinner in Paris hotel.
oh,
Yeah.
fancy. So kind of diving in a little bit more about, our comfort foods. What would you say you love most about kind of winter meals? Like, is it the cooking, or do you love like being able to share it with others, or is it just like eating these comfort foods? Maybe Brother Ron, we'll go with you.
Oh, definitely not me because I don't cook. It would be her. But I do love to, share it. It's when share. Like again, like I mentioned yesterday, potluck and stuff, and when the other comfort foods that other people, whether it be brethren, even guests, sometimes they bring food, and it's just the sharing of it and trying different types of foods so that you can diversify your palate. Like, ooh, I've never tried that before. Like I mentioned, that I've never had that. I'm fixated on that pistachio souffle, and it was a mind-boggling tasting experience.
Now I have to learn how to make that one.
Yes.
I know, it's in your dreams. You need that pistachio souffle. But what about you, Sister Hazel? Do you like typically like the cooking, or is it the sharing that you really like?
It's both because when I cook, I don't know how to cook for, less people. I always cook a lot. So if I cook something, I call them the other house, but my sister's house. And I would have called Brother Vaughn and Sister Christine, but they live so far from us. But sometimes when they come over, it's like, oh yeah, I cook this. Yeah, but I love to cook, but right now I'm not gonna be able to cook for a while. So I might have Joshua cook for me, which is my son, and I'll just teach him or step by step to see if he can follow. If I'm craving for something, since Sister Christine and Brother Vaughn, they're leaving for the Philippines, and Sister Christine is my main cook right now. She's the one that's feeding us here.
Well, hopefully, Brother Josh will be able to learn how to make some of your favorite comfort foods.
I hope so.
Well, we did get a couple comments about some other people's favorite comfort foods. We have Brother Gabe. He says his favorite comfort food is grilled cheese and tomato soup, which in the past I wouldn't have thought as my comfort food, but lately I too have been thinking of grilled cheese and tomato soup as my comfort food. We also have a comment from Brother Fell. He says, my favorite seafood is fish tachio? Is that what it says? Tachio? Tocino cake? I'm not sure what that is, being honest. And we also have another comment from Sister Grace. I'm a foodie, so I have many comfort foods like ramen, grilled cheese, and tomato soup, pandesal with corned beef, eggs, cheese, or butter and sugar. Love all kinds of desserts, definitely sinigang and kare-kare too. So, very, very typical comfort foods. We also have another comment from Sister Donna. Arroz caldo. Oh, which I do love. I love arroz caldo too. That's, I guess, a childhood favorite for comfort foods for me. And then we have our other comment from Sister Catherine. Sinigang is very good when when it's very sour. And Sister Ariza. Sour soup is so delicious, especially sour sinigang. So yeah, a lot of people backing up Sister Hazel's very sour sinigang comment. And then we also have another one from Sister Blessing. Best sinigang is oxtail. Not a common meat for sinigang, but once you have it, you never go. Oh, I don't know how to say that. That's true. I don't think I've ever had oxtail sinigang. But yeah, that's a great thing to kind of add to the list of things to try. Kind of keeping on with our discussion, winter can get a little gloomy, though today is a little bit different. It's very sunny. But how would you say comfort food can help lift your mood during these kind of winter times? What about Brother? No, let's go, Sister Chrislyn. What about you? How would you say? How would you say comfort food kind of helps lift your mood during the colder season?
Well, I'm always in a good mood, so my mood is always lift. I love to
That's good
eat,
thinking.
yeah, I'm always in a good mood, unlike some people.
Oh,
So, yeah, I'm always in a good mood, so it
that's
helps
good.
me even better.
Yeah, well, being in a good mood, then you're happier making more comfort foods for people. What about you, Sister Hazel? What about
Um, well, no, I'm not always in a good mood.
Mhm.
So comfort food for me is it makes you feel good inside. It's like um you're in the bad mood because, too much work when I was still, working, a lot of work, stress at work. So when you go home, it's like, "Oh, what do I want? What is my comfort food?" And when you eat it, it's like it relaxes you. It's like, oh, that feels so much better. And talking about, I just remembered, we are not sponsored by Panera, but they have the best tomato soup. Um, yeah, because I got some from them before. I was like, this is so expensive for a little thing, but it's actually pretty thick. And I made when Sister Tia was still living with us, um, late at night, I'll ask her, "Hey, do you want some grilled cheese?" And she goes, "Oh yeah." So we'll be grilling cheese, and that's, I'll remember. Oh yeah, tomato soup is good with grilled cheese, but we don't have that. But the next time I went to the Panera, we're not a sponsored, and it was really good because my sister suggested it. And that can be one of my comfort food. It's like, oh, and the grilled cheese, when late at night we're kind of bored and we're kind of hungry, but we're too lazy to cook. Yeah, that's our go-to comfort
That's
food.
true. Grilled cheese and tomato soup is a little bit of my go-to when when I don't want to cook too much.
Yeah.
Because sometimes cooking is hard and a lot
Yeah.
of effort. But no, I've never had the tomato soup from Panera before.
Panera,
That's also
try it.
like a little food bucket list from
Yes.
today. A lot of good things I need to try out.
Yeah.
Um, but is there, Brother Vaughn, this question's to you. Is there a winter dish that you love to make and share with others? I know you do lean more on dessert, so
Well, it's like I said earlier, I don't really cook or make anything, you know. But there isn't any particular one, but it's kind of going off of what they were saying about their moods and whatnot. One thing here in the Pacific, in Washington State, or the Pacific Northwest for that matter, um, the weather really can affect people's moods. So right now, with it being nice and bright, I think you see sunny in all the locations that are on right now, and it's really bright. I really feel like not making, but then getting, like I said earlier, some ice cream or gelato or something. Of course, pistachio, but what do you call this? Breads. Sister Klein used to make pandesal, and again, and that's always good for all the different types of soups that you guys were just discussing. So I'm really craving for soup for some reason right now.
We still have some soup.
Yeah, but
We still have sopas.
yeah, so I mean that's kind of a roundabout kind of answer or whatnot, but definitely with the mood and just January, I think we were hitting records here in Washington State where we haven't had rainfall as much as we normally do in a January. So it's really bright and happy mood type
Yeah, it's really
weather.
bright.
that's true. Oh, you are right. I know you did mention you don't normally cook. I should have asked you, what do you love to get? For
What
your
do you like to
comfort
buy? Yes.
Yeah, well,
Well,
I guess there you go. Gelato. I feel like eating some gelato right now.
Good thing I
you
don't
need your
make gelato.
you need your gelato and your side of soup to help balance everything out.
Oh, when it's
But
sunny, you can barbecue outside.
oh, that's
Oh, you're
true.
barbecuing for us right now, Hazel? Sweet.
Ah. They have the grill outside.
Well, Sister Hazel, I know you mentioned you do cook a little bit, though not recently, but when you do get back to it, is there a dish that, you'd love to be able to kind of share?
Well, I always cook pancit. That's why when I got sick during New Year, uh, they said, "Well, we don't have pancit right now because Hazel can't cook pancit." But yeah, pancit or palabok, very typical. Or the zupa. I brought some zupa at church before for potlucks, and it's just important when you're cooking, you tend to be in a good mood because I don't know, it shows in the taste of the food. That's what they're saying. If you're in a good mood or you love to cook, and also fried rice. I brought some fried rice before at the chapel when we were doing the rehearsals. So anything, because I like I said, I cook big batches of food, and it's so hard to think. It's like, what am I gonna cook? It's hard to cook because I'm not a chef, and I like watching those shows. It's like, oh, I wish I can be that good of a cook. It's like, yeah, but I try to share. Yeah.
Well, it is good to share. But you did bring up palabok, which I'd say is actually my comfort food. Though I am like quite particular. I do like it when it's like my mom's.
Of course.
Um,
It's always good. Mom's cooking. Do you like the thin or the thick noodles?
I like the thick noodles.
Typical. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I would say my comfort food is just my mom's cooking, which
Yeah.
I really love, and I always ask if I can learn how to make it, but she always tells me she doesn't actually ever measure. So
Oh,
so
that's
I don't
Filipino cooking for you.
I
That's why when
know.
I ask for recipe, just give me the ingredients and you know, we'll just try to eyeball it.
Yeah, and there has been times where I've tried to make it, but it tastes different when I make it. So
It's
I'm
the
sure.
love that's in the cooking that makes the difference. I don't know.
Well, we are kind of nearing the end of the discussion, but a last question to everyone here. Um, how do you think sharing a homemade meal kind of is able to bring everyone together? Maybe I'll start with Brother Vaughn and then Sister Chrislyn can answer after.
Oh, I mean, sitting at a table, which a lot of people nowadays don't have an opportunity to, but a meal and a home cooked meal and bring it to the table. The good thing is that it brings discussions. If it's family, how your day is going, how it's went this past week. For friends, um, what's happening and what's going on, here, whether it be work related, church related, and planning, and again, just having discussions, which a lot of people and at times don't have an opportunity to because we're always on the run, and bringing a cooked meal together brings people together also.
Same answer.
Ditto.
Ditto.
Well, I mean, that's true. It is rare that people get to kind of sit at a table and share meals nowadays, so that is very important. But Sister Hazel, do you have any kind of last minute comments you want
Same answer. No, just kidding.
to
Yeah, no, because right now, even if you live in the same house, you have different schedules. So you really don't have time to sit down and talk about, what's going on. But if you do get the chance to, it's kind of nice to share a home cooked meal, and especially if they're enjoying the home cooked meal, because sometimes they know me. I'll be watching and I'll go, "Oops, I'm cooking something on the stove," and I tend to forget. But I used to burn food before because when I'm not watching. But anyway, it's really nice, like what Brother Bon said. It's a nice way to uh, talk to your kids, your parents, how they went. Yeah, it's just a good time to bond. Yeah.
Yes. So you heard it here, everyone. Winter comfort foods can help, allow you to bond with your friends and family. And it's real good to kind of know the comfort foods that have been mentioned. So hopefully some of you guys have learned like new foods that you can go ahead and try. But we are at the end of our discussion. But I do want to give a big thank you to the guests that have joined us. So thank you so much for joining us. And on to our next segment, which is actually with Sister Hazel. Take it away.
Hello, I'm Sister Hazel again for our CFO activity. So we had two past activity. January 19th, we had an oath taking of new officers, which was held in the local of Kent. January 24th, last Friday, we had a combined CFO or Christian Family Organization meeting live in Bremerton, but the other congregation connected via WebEx in their houses of worship. And it was at 8 p.m. And tomorrow, hopefully, we'll see everybody there to support, they're not playing. If you guys just show up to support your team, it's a family bowling at Kenmore Lanes, which will be at 5:30 p.m. January 31st is our worldwide evangelical mission, which will be held at different houses of worship. So if you want to contact your local leadership, but it's at 7:30 p.m. February 2nd in Seattle at 6 p.m. is our all officers meeting. And on February 3rd, the very first District Evangelical Mission in Kennewick, Washington at the Gupan Grill at 1 p.m. And that is it. Back to you, sister.
Thank you, Sister Hazel. I hope everyone kind of goes to those events. And thank you again, Sister Hazel, for letting us know and always keeping us updated with all the activities around Washington State. So we are at the end of our show. But we do want to give a thank you for everyone who have tuned in. And we do want to leave you with a little question for next week, which is, have any of you ever gone inner tubing? And if you've done it, remember to join us next week so then you can join in our discussion about inner tubing, which we also call donuts on ice. Because apparently inner tubing, the tube is also related to donuts somehow. So, but remember to tune in and join us next week as well. And of course, we also want to mention the ways to tune in. You can find us through our YouTube channel by typing in INCRadio DZEM 954. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell to get notified whenever we have our show. You can also find us on INCradio.org. And of course, we also want to give a special thank you to Brother Eduardo V. Manalo, our Executive Minister, Brother Angelo Manalo, our Subsea President and CFO Coordinator, Brother Romeo Regino, our District Minister, Brother Relly Rivera, our Assistant District Minister, Brother Chris Valdez, our CFO Overseer, Brother Manley and Daya, our Executive Producer, and of course, the listeners and the INT Radio tech crew. None of this would be possible without you and your support. So from INT Radio Seattle, we'll see you later.